You've been told your whole life that success comes from speaking up, from voicing your thoughts and plans. Make yourself heard, stand out, tell the world what you're going to do. But what if I told you that the most powerful way to make an impact doesn't involve a single word? What if silence, real, authentic silence, is the key to unlocking a life of strength and success? In a world overwhelmed with noise, where everyone is screaming for attention, your silence can become your most powerful weapon. In fact, your actions, more than any word you speak, will shape your destiny. They'll define who you are and what you stand for, more than anything you say. In this video, we will explore the hidden power of silence, why actions are infinitely more powerful than words, and how embracing this can elevate you to new heights. By the end of this journey, you'll have a new perspective on what it means to truly succeed. And it won't be about shouting louder than everyone else. We live in an age of noise. We are constantly surrounded by people talking, sharing their opinions, expressing their desires, posting their thoughts on social media. Everywhere you look, there's noise. In the workplace, in relationships, even in your own mind, the clamor for attention is deafening. But let's think about this for a moment. What happens when there's too much noise? Have you ever tried to focus while there's a constant barrage of distractions? Have you ever been in a room where everyone is talking at once and you can't hear your own thoughts? In this noisy world, it becomes harder and harder to hear what's truly important. The more we talk, the more we drown out the essence of what matters most. When everything is shouting, nothing gets heard. Words lose their meaning when they're overused. And in truth, we don't really listen to someone who's constantly talking. We wait for them to finish, just so we can speak ourselves. And that's where silence becomes a secret weapon. In the chaos of the world, silence demands attention. It cuts through the noise, making your presence felt. When you stop talking, people stop waiting for you to finish your sentence. They start paying attention to what you do, not what you say. Let's be honest, words are cheap. We can all say whatever we want. We can make promises, declare our intentions, talk about the future, and shout our goals from the rooftops. But how many of us actually follow through? Think about it. How many people in your life have made empty promises? How many times have you heard someone say, "I'm going to change," or "I'll do better," only for nothing to happen? 7.9 million people. Words are easy to say. Promises are nice, but they're fleeting. They fade quickly, especially when they aren't backed up by action. Action is what separates the dreamers from the doers. The people who succeed aren't necessarily the ones with the loudest voices. They're the ones who back up their words with action, day after day. Think of the most successful people you admire. What stands out about them? Do they constantly talk about what they're going to do? Or do they do what they say they're going to do, without needing to explain themselves? Your words can inspire for a moment, but your actions will define you forever. People who have lost someone close to them, the most famous bureaucrats in our times. Throughout history, the greatest warriors, leaders, and trailblazers have often been the ones who were silent in their approach, their actions speaking louder than any words they could utter. Look at the legendary figures you admire. Did they announce their greatness with every breath? Did they boast about their victories? No, they simply showed up and did the work. They didn't need to talk. Their actions spoke for them. Think about the fighters, the athletes, the entrepreneurs who've changed the world. The true champions don't waste their time boasting about what they're going to do. They get to work, and the results speak for themselves. Let's take a real-world example. Steve Jobs. Jobs wasn't the one constantly talking about how great he was. He was the one who quietly built Apple into one of the most successful companies in the world. He didn't announce his genius. He simply created something revolutionary, something that spoke for itself. Your journey to success doesn't need to be accompanied by a loud announcement. Let your actions do the talking. The world will notice when you show up consistently and relentlessly. There's a misconception that silence is a sign of weakness. We're taught that if we're silent, we're somehow less capable, less engaged, less important. But the truth is, silence is power. Silence is control. When you choose silence, you choose not to be pulled into every situation that demands your attention. You choose to direct your energy, your time, and your focus on what truly matters. You stop reacting to the distractions of the world and start acting on your own terms. Think about the most powerful people you know. They don't engage in every argument. They don't jump into every drama. They remain calm, composed, and focused. They know that in silence lies strength. Silence allows you to control your responses. It gives you the opportunity to think before you speak, to act deliberately, and to stay true to your goals without being swayed by every external opinion. Powerful people aren't always the ones who are talking the most. They are the ones who are in control of their actions and emotions. So when life tries to provoke you, when people try to pull you into their noise, resist the urge to react. Use the power of silence to stay focused, to maintain your strength, and to build the future you want. The power of silence is really the power of action. You don't need to shout your goals from the rooftops or tell everyone your plans. You simply need to do what you say you're going to do. The world doesn't need to hear your plans. It needs to see them in motion. Action is the ultimate expression of confidence. When you act without explanation, when you do the work quietly and persistently, people begin to take notice. And not just any people, the right people. Think about it. Every time you choose action over words, you reinforce your confidence in yourself. You send a message to the world that you don't need validation. You don't need applause. You just need to get the job done. And guess what? Your actions will eventually speak so loudly that they'll drown out all the noise around you. But silence isn't just about withholding words. It's also about creating space for reflection, for introspection, and for clarity. In the quiet moments, when the world is still, we are able to hear the voice within us, the voice that guides us toward the right path. When you stop talking and start listening to yourself, to your instincts, to the world around you, you can gain the insight you need to move forward. Silence is the space where wisdom is born. Many people rush through life, constantly distracted, talking without thinking, reacting without understanding. But the people who find real success are the ones who take the time to pause, to reflect, and to act with intention. The next time you're faced with a decision or a challenge, don't rush in with words. Pause, reflect, and then act with purpose. Your actions will be clearer, your choices wiser, and your path forward much more powerful. Life isn't always smooth sailing. In fact, it's often the opposite. There are times when the storm around you is so loud, so chaotic, that it feels impossible to keep your peace. People are arguing, tensions are rising, deadlines are looming, and everything is happening at once. But here's where the true power of silence comes in. When everything around you is in chaos, Your silence is what gives you clarity. When people are shouting for your attention, when problems are piling up, and when the pressure is at its peak, choosing silence in those moments allows you to hear your inner voice, the one that keeps you grounded. It's easy to react. Everyone around you will try to pull you into their battles, to drag you into the drama. But the real warriors, those who are destined for greatness, are the ones who stay still, who observe, and who respond thoughtfully rather than impulsively. Their silence isn't a sign of fear, it's a sign of control. They know that reacting rashly in the heat of the moment will only make things worse. Silence becomes a strategic tool. It allows you to stay calm in the storm. It gives you space to breathe, think, and respond in a way that serves you rather than letting the chaos dictate your actions. When you choose silence, you take back your power. You become the one who stands firm while the world around you loses its footing. The reality is, we all say things we don't mean, or things we regret saying, especially when emotions are running high. Part 1. Words have a powerful impact, both positive and negative. The wrong words at the wrong time can destroy relationships, ruin opportunities, and create unnecessary drama. But silence can be your shield. Choosing when to speak, and more importantly, when not to, is a skill that can change the course of your life. In moments of confrontation, when emotions are high and the urge to speak impulsively is strong, consider the power of silence. It's in those moments that you hold the greatest power. By holding back, you give yourself space to think. You allow your emotions to settle, and most importantly, you keep the integrity of the situation intact, avoiding unnecessary conflict. There's a saying that goes, "It's better to remain silent and be thought a fool than to speak and remove all doubt." This isn't about being passive or avoiding conflict. It's about knowing when your words will have no constructive effect, and when your silence can say far more than anything you could utter. Words are not the only way we communicate. In fact, more than 90% of communication is nonverbal. The way you carry yourself, the look in your eyes, your posture, and the way you move. These all send messages far louder than anything you could say. Your body speaks for you, whether you realize it or not. The way you enter a room, the way you hold yourself during a conversation, the way you walk through the world. These actions send clear messages to those around you. And it's in the stillness of your body that people will see your true power. A person who walks into a room with their shoulders straight, their head held high, and a quiet confidence in their movements exudes authority. They don't need to say a word. Their actions speak volumes. Take, for example, leaders throughout history. Great leaders such as Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, or Martin Luther King Jr. didn't constantly shout their ideals. Their movements, their unwavering commitment to their cause, their calm demeanor in the face of adversity. These were their greatest forms of communication. Their silence wasn't weakness. It was a reflection of their strength. So consider the way you hold yourself. Pay attention to how your body language communicates your confidence, your power, and your self-worth. It's in those silent moments, when you are simply present, that your actions become the loudest declaration of who you are. Emphasizing the importance of mindfulness is the key to self-declarations. Recognizing the difference between the present moment and the future is increasingly important to engaging your body in action. Personal growth requires quiet reflection. Without taking the time to be still, to pause, and to look inward, you risk getting lost in the noise of the world. It's in the silence where real transformation happens. It's in those moments of solitude that you have the space to reflect, to reassess your goals, and to reevaluate the direction of your life. Think about the times in your life when you felt lost, uncertain, or at a crossroads. Did you find clarity by talking to others? Or was it in those silent moments of introspection, when you were alone with your thoughts, that you found the answers? True personal growth doesn't happen by constantly seeking outside validation. It happens when you go inward. It's in the silence that you hear the whispers of your own potential. Take the time to be alone. Embrace the quiet moments. Use this time to reconnect with yourself. In those moments of silence, you'll uncover new insights, discover your true desires, and find the strength to take the next step in your journey. End of Chapter 24. Review of Sections 2 through 3. Exercises. In any relationship, whether personal, professional, or romantic, the power of silence can be a game changer. The words we speak often define the dynamics of the relationship. But what happens when you stop talking all the time? What if you let your actions show your care, your love, and your commitment, rather than constantly expressing it through words? In relationships, we often try to show our worth through words. We say, "I love you," "I care about you," "I'm here for you." These are all great sentiments, but they're often repeated so much that they start to lose their meaning. What truly strengthens a relationship isn't the endless talking, but the quiet actions that speak louder than words. Think about it. How much more powerful is it when someone shows up for you? When they're there when you need them? When they support you without needing to say a thing? Those are the moments that matter. Those are the actions that create lasting bonds. In your own relationships, consider the power of silence. Instead of constantly trying to explain yourself or defend your position, let your actions demonstrate your true feelings. Let your silence be the proof of your commitment. In the long run, words are fleeting. They come and go like the wind. But actions, the actions you take today, will echo throughout your life. Your legacy won't be defined by what you said, but by what you did. Every small act of courage, every quiet step forward, every time you choose to do rather than talk, compounds over time. These actions, over days, months, and years, build a powerful narrative about who you are and what you stand for. It's the small, consistent actions that create lasting change. Imagine looking back on your life years from now. Will you be remembered for the promises you made or for the actions you took? Will people remember you for the speeches you gave or for the impact you had through your consistent effort and dedication? The impact of silence and action is far-reaching. It changes not only your life but the lives of others as well. When you consistently show up, when you let your actions speak louder than words, you inspire others to do the same. Your example becomes a beacon for those around you, showing them that it's not the noise that makes the difference. It's the quiet, deliberate action. So, what does this all mean for you? It means that your success doesn't depend on how loudly you speak, how much attention you demand, or how many people you convince of your potential. Success depends on your ability to act without explanation, to be still in the chaos, and to make your actions speak louder than any word you could utter. Your journey doesn't need to be accompanied by a constant stream of words. What matters is what you do, not what you say. Let your actions be the loudest statement you make. The world doesn't need to hear your plans. It needs to see your progress. It needs to witness your growth, your transformation, and your ability to rise above the noise. So the next time you feel the urge to explain yourself, to defend your choices, or to shout your plans into the void, remember this: your silence holds the power. Your actions are the proof. Now go out there and let your actions speak louder than any words ever could.